This is KUGAN CASSIUS for IFL TV, proudly sponsored by Everlast, with a Matchroom bubble head of Chisora Parker this Saturday night live on Sky Sports Box Office and DAZN. I'm joined by Mr. James Tennyson. How are you, mate?
Not bad, KUGAN, I can't complain. I'm well looked after here in the bubble. I'd say you're better looked after here than what you are in the house, so there's no complaints at all.
Well, you can't really complain then, I suppose, can you? I mean, it's weird to explain the bubble unless you've been in a bubble, but yeah, it's. I'm not going to say it's like a prison, because this is definitely not like a prison, but I will say the first 24 hours of isolation is probably the hardest part of the bubble.
There's a shadow of a doubt. You know what? It's torture. Once you're in your room, you're locked down four walls, and there's no moving. You can't do nothing about it. But once you're out, and you can get a wee bit of enjoyment. Okay,
let's jump straight into it, James. Obviously, this was one of the later fights that was announced on the card. Your IBO world title fight against Efron, Mexican southpaw. What do you know about him?
Do you know what? Not an awful lot, to be honest. Other than what my team know, he's a bit of a come forward pressure fighter. He likes to have a go. He's a bit of a banger, and you know yourself with the Mexicans. You know the reputation. You know they're tough guys. They come, they bring it. So I'm expecting a tough night. Like, you know, listen, it's an IBO world title. It's not going to come easy, is it?
No, absolutely not. But I suppose, yeah, the reputation, especially of recent Mexicans that have come over to the UK and kind of upset the apple cart, shall we say, on more than one occasion. I suppose just for that reason alone, that you've just got to kind of be on it and wary a little bit.
Exactly. You know, listen, they've upset the odds many a times before. So for me, you know, having a tough Mexican in front of me, you know, it's going to keep me switched on, to keep me focused. I'm really looking forward to it. You know what? I'm very excited about this one.
When you put out on your social media that you were fighting for the IBO world title, you know, looking through the comments, and I just wanted to kind of get your response to this. I saw a few people kind of on the timeline kind of questioning the IBO title, etc., etc. So yeah, I just wanted your take on that and give you a chance to kind of respond to some of them comments that I'm sure you may have seen. Yeah,
do you know what? I did. I've seen a lot of them. I didn't really take too much heed of them, you know. People are entitled to their opinion, number one. But, you know, for me, I've worked myself the last 20 years to get myself to this point. You know, winning the IBO world title, it's going to put me in line to fight for bigger honours, bigger titles. It's going to bring the bigger names in the division to me. You know what I mean? It's going to get me seated at the table with them four kings, as I speak of. But you know, do you know what? See with the IBO, you know, there's only one world title with it. With the other organisations, there's a champion, there's a franchise. They've got many different titles. So with the IBO, there's only one world champion, and that's it.
Yeah, and I think if we kind of look through history of the IBO title and see the names that have held the belt, not just in your weight, but across the weights, I mean, you're not in bad company at all.
Definitely not. You know, that strap's been over the shoulder of many big names before. And, you know, I plan to be the next one to have it over my shoulder as well. You know, a lot of them, you know, the big title holders that have got it, you know, they've held on to it. It's not a belt that they wanted to give up. So I'll be looking forward to getting my hands on one.
Absolutely, James, absolutely. I know this is a bit of old news now, but I haven't really kind of spoke to you on camera about probably you were watching Saturday Night Boxing, sitting there. I'm assuming this situation, by the way, watching Saturday Night Boxing, and then Mr. Johnny Nelson from Sky comes on and makes a comment that literally went viral that had to do with yourself and Gervonta Davis. But great confidence from Johnny Nelson, which I'm sure you appreciated. But again, just in that kind of boxing social media world we live in, we know that comments like that kind of almost like get everyone's back up, shall we say.
Yeah, you know what? I know exactly the comments you're talking about. He absolutely blew the internet whenever he made the comments. I was laughing, you know what? I've seen a lot of comments and a lot of people having the digs and give me a good laugh. You know, I actually think that there's a page set up with Company Nelson, so, you know, I was having a good scope one. I give me a good laugh, but you know what? Comments like that from a guy like him, you know, it's only going to really boost my confidence. You know, it's great to hear. And listen, it's boxing. It's very possible.
Yeah, look, I mean, you're at a stage in your career where it's kind of after the Tevin Farmer fight, you're in like another phase and a new phase of your career where you're in great momentum. You're going into this fight Saturday night with. We know there are bigger fights for you. You come through Saturday, there are bigger fights for you, but you're in the sport to fight the best at the weight. And if that be Gervonta Davis or whoever else in the weight, then why shouldn't you be fighting them and why shouldn't you be winning fights like this?
Exactly. Listen, that's what I'm in the sport for, to test myself. I want to fight the best out there. I want to be able to show my credibility in that stage in world boxing. I want to fight the big names. I believe that I can trade with them. I believe they're fights that I can win. So, it's just about getting the opportunity to be able to show it. And, off the back of this win, I believe it's going to bring me them fights.
What's the biggest thing that you've learned since the Farmer loss?
Weight. Don't kill yourself to do the weight. That weight murdered me. But no excuses. I was beat. I've bounced back from it. From move up the lightweight, I've been improving. Things have been going strength to strength for me. And long may it continue come Saturday night.
This is, when you look on the whole, domestically and obviously on the world scene, the lightweight division is a far harder division, especially when you get to world level as well. But again, the fights that you could potentially have, should you keep winning, the possibilities are endless. Yeah,
there's many big opportunities out there for me. The other lightweight champions, they haven't really been defending against each other. That's something I'd love to be bouncing straight in with. Win this IBO world title, get straight in for the other big fights. Them guys haven't been defending against other oppositions. Put the titles on the line. That's what I'm aiming for.
We know you've got this reputation as a huge puncher, and we know there's more to your game than just being able to hit hard, obviously. But we do know that you have that in your locker. So in any given fight, you have that ability to use that power.
Yeah, absolutely. Listen, the power's there. I think I've stopped near enough everyone from moving up the lightweight. So, it's good. It's good just to have that wee peace of mind. But like you say, I've got more in the locker. I'm doing a heck of a lot more in sparring and in training. It's just a matter of, just how it comes on fight night. If the stoppage comes, I'm going to take it. But if I do need the box, if I need to work on with the fence, it's there, I can do it.
Like I said, I don't like talking. I am talking, so I'm being a bit hypocritical here, but I don't like talking about fights other than what's going on this Saturday. But during media week, you're going to get asked loads of questions anyway. But is it for you to kind of, you've had your tilt at the world stage, which you fell short, but is it now get me back up to, someone in that division, whether it be America or anywhere, a notable name like that, put me in with them and see kind of the improvements that you've made since that Farmer loss?
That's exactly how I'm feeling. From the Farmer fight, when I moved up in weight, I've been choking just to get back up into the world level boxing, wanted the big fight straight away. So that's exactly how it is. I've been just itching to get myself back up at that level. And, now my chance is coming and, it's not one that's going to slip away from me.
Do you know the best thing about that situation with Johnny Nelson was that Johnny Nelson's one of these people, if he says it, he'll back up and explain why he said it. And I always think if someone can do that, that's their opinion. Yeah. Like, he hasn't just said that for the sake of it. He's saying that because of X, Y, Z. And, when I've interviewed Johnny after that, he'll sit there and he'll go, I stand by my comments exactly. He knows how it was perceived, but he'll stand there and explain to you why he believes what he said. And that's his opinion at the end of the day.
Yeah, yes, he said. I actually think I've seen him backing up his opinion after he made the comments when the internet blew up. So, listen, he stands bad. I'd back him up. And, when the opportunity arises, I'm very possible to show the people exactly what he was talking about,
Absolutely. No pressure there. No pressure, Johnny. James, listen, appreciate your time. It's a very interesting bubble. I think from tomorrow there's kind of some really random people that are going to be in this bubble, so it should be quite interesting just to see all the personalities about.
Yeah, it should be fun. It's always interesting, always. You don't know what you're coming to.
No. And rumour has it Mark Dunlop's coming in here. I mean, I don't know if it's true, but apparently Mark Dunlop is going to make an appearance. He's got his own section of the hotel because he didn't want to mixed with everyone else. But apparently, if the rumours are true, Mark Dunlop will be here as well.
Yep, Mark Dunlop is everywhere. The man's everywhere.
You know what I do like about Mark actually, because he cares about his fighters so much.
Yeah.
Whether that's Big Nick Campbell, who's just turned pro the other day, yourself, or whoever else, he's kind of always kind of pushing to give you guys the best opportunity. So from someone like that, you can't ask for more.
Absolutely. Listen, big respect to Mark Dunlop. I think he cares about his fighters like he cares about his own children. And he really does, and he gives them everything. Do you know what I mean? It's like an all or nothing thing with Mark. And if you're with him, you're with him. He'll give you 100%. So big respect to him for that. You know, listen, look at the job he's done with me. I was his first signed fighter, and we're still going strong. Near 10 years later.
And obviously we'll have to shout out Tony, because we don't want to leave Tony out. He's a big part of your team as well.
Tony D is the main man. He's a wee gangster. He's the man.
All right, well, listen, maybe we'll grab a word with you later on in the week. It's only Tuesday, so it's very early on in the week, but thought I'd get you early. And, yeah, best of luck this weekend. And, like I said, I'm sure we'll catch up with you again this week.
Thank you very much, Cook. Cheers. Appreciate it. Thank you.